Tonight, a family-owned shop in Denver's Little Saigon neighborhood is now part of a recognized historical site. We're taking you inside.
A powerful group of Colorado artists who are also veterans are healing through art. We've got that story.
And a broadcasting pioneer whose vision helped connect communities across Colorado long before there was a roadmap.
These are the people and places that define the heart of our state and the stories that remind us why local matters.
This is Studio 12.
From the Five Points Media Center in the heart of Denver, Colorado, this is Studio 12.
Hi, I'm Bazi Kanani.
And I'm Ryan Harrer. Welcome to Studio 12 and Happy New Year to you.
Denver's Little Saigon is home to dozens of small businesses that reflect generations of culture, resilience, and entrepreneurship within the Vietnamese community.
One of those businesses is Truong An Gifts, a family-run shop that's been a staple for decades, offering everything from traditional items to everyday essentials.
But behind the storefront is a much deeper story.
In our Business of Colorado short documentary tonight, we take you inside Truong An Gifts to learn how the past, present, and future of one family's history intersects in Denver's Little Saigon.
The whole plaza itself plays a huge part in my role of who I am today.
Sometimes we want to get together to have a friend, sit down, have a cup of coffee, or have the bowl of pho. Yet some people want to eat food. They got the restaurant. That's why we found this area, and we start to open this one on 1987. We want our community grow, and everybody can come in and to get what they need, and they can see together. So they
14180.
don't be really homesick because
the name, when I see the name, I think this is a good name in Chinese, in Vietnam.
It means
But
peace and harmony.
Yeah. But I didn't think about English. They hard to spelling and they hard to pronouncing. Truong An. This name follow me 44 years now. My name is Fawn. My shop is a Truong An Gifts, right at Fire Center.
1975, we escaped out from South Vietnam 3 days before collapse. I have no choice. I don't know anything. They collapse from north, go back to south. They slowly going south. Then we know if we not escape out, we get really big trouble because usually communist government, they don't like a lot the high education because they think high education they cannot control. I like to be teach, so I get it in and get the degree on the math teacher degree. Everybody know it not a good time to join in this North Vietnam communists, so we try to run out.
Up, go. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay.
I came first 1975, and my wife, she came 1979.
I think I need to go back 47 years ago. When I came to United States, I really say I don't know nothing. When we just come to United States, we don't know nothing. We don't have confidence. We very scared. And that time, no Google Translation, nothing. And when we escape, I have take one dictionary about that big. Look like a handbook like that. I need every night I found the dictionary.
My wife got the older brothers. He goes to same school with my cousin. So I don't know how they connected. They bring whole family to Denver. and they stay in my cousin's house. So the next day, I just came to visit them. And when I ring the bell,
And I go out, I open the door.
the person come out to open the door is my wife.
I see my husband.
And when I saw her, I said, boom. That's my person. I don't know what they say, but like a big sock. So I found her.
And I say, what's your name? And he say, I'm Tom. And I look at him, I say, I think you're older than me. How about I call you Tom brother? I see him that time. He say, how about we marry?
Now we've been married about 45 years. Look back, it's a long time.
He never let me pay house bill, electric bill. No, he take care everything. He never tell you he's stressed about we behind the financial or everything. No. Okay, that's why I really love him.
I got the job. It's a busboy at they call the top of the Rocky at downtown Denver. Change from teacher become a busboy because that's the good freedoms. And we came to USA. We found the freedom. We can talk what we want. We can speak what we want, and we can think what we want. And after that, I found another job in King Soopers. I saw in King Soopers they got American food, and most the Vietnamese people they need eat rice and some Vietnamese food, and over there they have this really small bag they call Uncle Ben rice. We most eat the long grain rice, and we don't have like a fish sauce. We don't have like any Asian food. Even I want to eat bean sprout, we have to grow the bean sprout at home.
And the ramune, oh my gosh, such a large selection. Wow, I haven't even seen all these flavors.
So we decided, say, why don't we just open the grocery? Grocery will help to get the Vietnamese community close. So we opened the grocery store, small one, really small.
That time my husband, he already have the business. It's a small grocery, Asian grocery. They call Thai Bin market, supermarket.
I drive the truck from here to California to get the fish sauce and something like that, come back.
When I come out to the business, I don't have anything. I don't have money in my pocket. I asked my husband, because he come in United States in 1975. I asked him, he say, I only 5,000. I cannot help you more. I say, okay, 5,000 enough. I take. I use that 5,000. I go to business. I ask the business, it's a 40,000. I go deal with him. I say, I pay you payment for a year. Okay? Of course, they take my interest. Every month, I need pay 3,000. About 3,300 something for him for a year, the payment. I only make $30. How I survive? It's not easy, but I go through. I need make the shop. I can make more money then. I say I want to open the shop. That shop is video. It's only 700 square feet. The name is called Truong An.
Growing up in this store, it started off as a blockbuster, like an Asian blockbuster. It was like a VHS movie rental, and it was all like kung fu movies to dramas to like all that for the Asian community. So like our store was the hub for the Asian community on the weekends when they can, after work or whatever, they can relax by watching movies with VHS. So it was like renting different movies and dramas. So for me, those are like memories of mine of like every aisle is like, it's like an archive of our history and culture and everything, because every aisle with like gifts or everything that was in the store was a story. This shopping plaza is actually our home for my cousins and siblings, because all my aunties and uncles would have their store in this plaza. We would have like a restaurant, a supermarket, our gift shop. So it was kind of like where we grew up. We would be kids just running around store to store. If we're hungry, we'll just go to the restaurant. If we wanted a snack, we'll go to the supermarket. If we wanted to like do our homework, we'd go to our aunt's office, stuff like that. It was just like, this is where I grew up. So I grew up in it. So honestly, it wasn't like I was getting paid to work here. It was like child labor. You work for your parents. So it wasn't always like my dream job, honestly.
When she's young, her dream is modeling. Yeah. Okay. And she won catwalk. She won my photo on the screen, and she won everything. I let her go try. You need to pass happy and your dream, okay? 23 that time, I say, honey, I think now is the time. If you want, continue your job, or you need follow the business. I let you think, your choice, or you want to go back school.
The Skull Panda, this was last year, this is this year. So every year they come out with a new...
She think about 1 week. She say, Mom, I think I pick business. I say, okay, if you pick business, you need clear all the past. Your modeling, everything. You're 23, you already old, you pass. Okay? You need, don't ruin the time to learning something. And she says she picked business. I say, okay.
For me, I just want to share our culture, traditions, and heritage and roots, and it can be anything from like traditional like jade bangles, that has different nostalgic meanings behind it, to like the new pop culture stuff, like from trinkets and collectibles. Like it could be from all sorts of different genres in the stores, right? Different areas in the store, but it hits somebody deep in their heart, where it could be, that's kind of how I feel, like everything is sentimental. Oh my God, we need a picture of that too. Everything has a story behind it. So if somebody's buying something for someone, there's a story behind why they're gifting that to someone. So I feel like our store can give that to others.
See, I have a lot of customers, a lot of kids. When they come in, and they come and say hi, and I say, you don't need to buy anything. You just come in, you say hi, I'm happy, because we are friends. No, I need support you. And they need to pay something, they need to buy something.
Luckily, Mimi's parents had done such a good job of building this business.
We don't have a lot of coconut, but we have a lot of ginger.
Okay.
It's been an interesting balance for sure. It's something that we want to keep around. We don't want to just be the trendy store. We want to keep our traditions alive, obviously. Mimi is a big believer in that. All the community work she does is in order to keep traditions and educate future generations on what we used to do or what our parents used to do, kind of balancing the past versus the present versus the future. Because obviously our store has a lot going on. It's not just the store, but the shopping center as well. We have, Mimi puts on these community events, and she mostly does it for kids. Almost all the events are geared towards kids. Lunar New Year, we have like a kids fashion show. The kids come out to see the lions. Mid-Autumn Festival's a kids, it's for kids. It's a lantern festival. Obviously, there are times when I wake up and I say, I wish I could have half the store for all the products that I want. But then there are days when I wake up and I'll have like a 18, 19-year-old kid come in and ask about a really traditional product, and they'll be like, yeah, we do have that. Or someone else will come in and ask about something and we don't have that. I have no idea where to point you because I can't think of a single place that would sell something like that. If it's not us, I have no idea.
We have sections of like, I can order everything in the store, but my mom gets all the like traditional stuff. And then Michael and I get pop culture and all that. And then I add on like the beauty and the Sanrios and all the cute stuff. Michael has all the Pokemon and anime. So we all have a little section that really brings us joy.
It's not just a matter of me looking at a sheet and figuring out what's available. Sometimes if it was available yesterday, it's not available today. So there's risks involved as well, obviously, because it could be limited and then tomorrow there could be tons of inventory, so now it's not as limited anymore. I think experience gives you a lot of insight as to what could and may or may not be popular. Also, staying up to date on pop culture and trends obviously helps. There's a fair bit of luck involved as well, I think.
That's the hard part, right? Is to figure out what kind of gift or items to bring in and how to get it and what if it will sell here. There's like fails where stuff sit and collect dust, or there's things that are flying off the shelf where we can't even we just have to keep restocking, right? In Asia, they're a little bit ahead of the game.
Asia is very fashion forward. Their pop culture moves very quickly. And I think we get some insight into what we could be seeing here, but it's not necessarily always the case. But it does give you a bit of insight, so I guess as a research tool, it kind of works.
We always know about 6 months ahead what's gonna be hot, and if the American culture, community and culture can accept that kind of new trend. So example, like when Labubus were popular, it was already popular in Asia, way ahead of time, maybe a year before, and then America started getting in the trend, and then the whole world.
I believed in Pop Mart and Labubus and stuff like that long before most people knew what they were. I'm a collectible kind of person.
When you can collect them, it's like a blind box.
I think that's where our anime section kind of started off.
A lot of our customers know, they're known for the store for the Pokemons. They're known for the store for Sanrio items, because we try to always get those items before they hit the American market.
I don't have as much time now, so I kind of rely on my kids at this point to know what's popular and what's not.
This one for $4.99.
But I'm a collector. I like collecting a lot of different things. Obviously, we like having, trendy pop culture products. But I've always said that I don't ever want to lose the traditional aspect of the store, such as products for memorials and stuff like that we don't know if the future generation is going to use. But it's something that we keep around, not just in case, but there are different people that use them, and there are people that maybe they came over from another country, so they're still, using those traditions and stuff like that. So it's been an interesting balance for sure. It's something that we want to keep around. We don't want to just be the trendy store. We want to keep our traditions alive, obviously.
So that is why, for me now, this is my job. I come to work extra happy to work in a place where I can sell items and trinkets and stuff that brings people happiness and joy. They come excited to shop and, for instance, buy a trinket like Labubu or whatever, and then they leave extra happy. Those are the joy that makes the store what it is, and that's the same of how I saw my mom and dad working back in the day too. Their movies brought people joy and happiness. Their gift items, small things here and there, people come to buy to gift to other, and it brings other people joy. So those are things that I see that why these mom and pop shops are very important, and it's important to share the stories behind it.
There's a question of if this future generation wants to take over businesses from the previous generation, and a lot of them aren't interested. So you have kind of this cultural hub that needs to be continued, but who's going to pick up that torch? And so making sure we kind of stay grounded in the fact that we keep those traditional products it's important to us, at least.
What I am and who I am today as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman is I learned it all from my mom and dad and my aunts and uncles, seeing them work so hard for everything that they do to give us a better future, right?
We teaching you and we want training you out.
I did go to like college for like fashion design, esthetician, skincare, all of that extra stuff, but I'm not doing any of that because I realized like this is my home. I actually had 3 Asian gift shops in the mall at one point when I was in my 20s. After I had kids, I realized how important it is to continue the culture and tradition and heritage and sharing the roots of what my mom and dad and my grandma, grandpa and stuff shared with me.
I thought I was going to be a soccer player in the future. Unfortunately, I was derailed by injuries. I've had 3 ACL surgeries and Achilles surgery, and I was going to school at the University of Denver at the time. And this is right around when I met Mimi, but I went to school for business and accounting. In the future, I'd like to own a business as well. So I wanted to go that route with it. And so she asked me to come out to the store and help with inventory to see if I could, just because of my background and stuff like that. And it took me an entire summer to get some inventory done at the store. Not every couple can work together and be together 24/7, but Mimi and I guess we have a knack for it.
Okay.
And so we enjoy being together, and I enjoy what I do out here, so it just kind of worked out.
We over here, we thought Mimi and Michael took the job, and they do good. So we're really proud. We are semi-retired, so I can go anywhere I want. I can do every time I want. We can take off a week, a month, and they still can handle it.
When I take care when they little, I never think have today. Okay, but today I really say, I'm so proud, Mimi. Proud about her, but I didn't tell her. Honey, I'm so proud about you. You do good job, everything. No, okay? I just look and I see she can handle everything now. I let her go.
So that is why, like, for me now, this is my job. I come to work like extra happy to work in like a place where I can sell items and trinkets and stuff that brings people happiness and joy. You know, like they come excited to shop and, for instance, like buy like a trinket like Labubu or whatever, and then they leave extra happy. Like those are the joy that makes this store what it is, you know. And that's the same of how I saw my mom and dad working back in the day too. Their movies brought people joy and happiness. Their gift items, small things here and there, people come to buy to gift to other, and it brings other people joy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you later. Yeah, thank you.
So those are things that I see that why these mom and pop shops are like very important, you know, and it's important to share the stories behind it.
The Truong An Gift Store is part of a district that symbolizes generations of Vietnamese immigrant perseverance and contributions to Denver.
In fact, the Far East Center on Federal, the shopping complex that houses Truong An Gifts and other longtime businesses, was added to Colorado's State Register of Historic Properties in 2024, recognizing it as a site of cultural and historical significance.
From generations of families who fled war and built new roots here to the storytellers and neighbors preserving those memories, the Little Saigon district stands as both a modern-day business hub and a reminder of the history of the people behind it.
To learn more, you can go to littlesaigondenver.com and visit Truong An Gifts on their Facebook and Instagram pages.
Next, we're shining a light on a powerful group of Colorado artists whose work is shaped by service, resilience, and healing.
The Veterans Art Council, a nonprofit based out of VFW Post 1, the very first VFW post in the country, has long provided a creative space for veterans coping with PTSD, depression, and the invisible wounds of war.
Their artwork is being honored at the Denver Art Museum. In fact, it's the first time the museum has ever hosted a full exhibit dedicated to veteran artists. It features pieces made by veterans who have worked through trauma with creative expression. Take a look.
Most of my art is monochromatic. I prefer working in monochromatic because I can see it better with what little vision I have left. I was shot in the head in Vietnam, and it left bullet fragments in my head. They said it would cause more damage to try to get them out than it would be just leave them there. They were small, and it probably would never bother me, and for 23 years they didn't. I was teaching at the University of Colorado one day 23 years after I was shot, and in the middle of a really bad migraine, one of the bullet fragments moved and caused a stroke in my visual cortex, and I lost my eyesight in 30 minutes. And I spent the next 2 years being pretty depressed, pretty angry. One day, after a couple of years of putting up with me being angry all the time and depressed, they said, "Dad, you've always loved art, you should get back to it." And my first reaction was, I can't see. But they insisted, and they kept pushing me, and I spent the next 2 years, probably 8 to 10 hours a day, just trying to figure out how to do art again without the eyesight. But the more I did, the better I got, and the better I got, the busier I got, and before I knew it, I was so busy with my art, I forgot to be angry.
VFW Post 1, it's first ever VFW, which is super cool, and the veterans in here have turned it into an art gallery.
About 10 years ago, me and Jim Stevens put together a program at VFW Post 1, and it turned into the Veteran Arts Council that we see today.
I came to the VFW and did an OPA call. I was only planning on doing it one time, but I've kind of been here since.
I was in the United States Navy from 2003 to 2008, and I served in Guantanamo Bay at the detention camp in 2005 and 2006. I had some personal issues that came up, and I basically did not want to live anymore. And one of my friends who was down here on the day that I was actually thinking about committing suicide, he basically called me up and said, "Dude, you will not believe what's going down at this new VFW post." And I go, "Tell me more," you know? And he goes, "They kept the art. They kept everything." And he goes, "Everybody, like, there's VFW artists on the walls, there's all this other stuff." And something that night clicked with me, and I ended up going down here. And I was such at a low point that just that one opportunity that was like, "Oh, we have empty space, fill this." Just that opportunity made me rethink the way I was doing things. Maybe I shouldn't be in self-service for myself. Maybe I should try to do some service for good. And then I ultimately ended up joining the VFW. It's been one of those things that has actually been really fulfilling in my life. I feel very rich when it comes to the people I know, and even though it's not monetarily, it's like just the effect and the change that you've seen in your fellow veterans, that what art can do for people.
I've been doing art since I was little. Essentially, it started off as like a communication thing for me. Had a lot of learning disabilities, like dyslexia and ADHD, so it kind of helped me focus. And then with the childhood that I had with some of the trauma. It kind of helped me survive in that sense, so I've kind of used it as a coping mechanism.
I was in the Army from '96 to 2005. Once September 11th happened, it took on a whole new meaning. That was, fighting for the country and what we believe in and what we stand for. And so that made all of us that I was with, made all of us kind of grow up real quick. Before that, we were all kind of, kids doing an adult job. My photography post-military has been definitely a way of release of stress, of tension, of the daily grind, and it's definitely a way to release all the pent-up energy or pent-up stress from the week, and a great way to unwind. And so it definitely has helped me cope with just life in general.
This is such a big deal that we're getting this opportunity to show at the Denver Art Museum.
It's huge. I'm very proud that I'm part of this Veterans Art Council and that we have opportunities like this.
I got the idea actually from my 6-year-old grandson.
Really?
Yeah, many years ago.
So today we are holding our reception for the Veterans Arts Council Community Spotlight.
Now, Ray, how old are you?
I'll be 90 in January.
That's what I thought. You're our oldest artist here.
It is called Beyond the Military, From Combat to Canvas. And so this exhibition is a celebration of veteran artists in the Denver community.
I'm a Korean and a Cold War veteran. I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years.
They were talking about in the opening, it's been a year in process, and I've been here just over a year in the VFW Art Gallery. And in that year, I've been in a senator's office, a congressman's office, the VA hallway, a different art gallery altogether, and now I'm in the Denver Art Museum. And the running joke that I've been making to my friends is I'm in the Denver Art Museum, and I'm not dead. I'm literally, legitimately in the Denver Art Museum.
It's actually 12 shots taken in rapid succession and then stacked together.
Well, it's a drawing I did of the Cathedral Rock. It's the Garden of the Gods. It was done in graphite.
It's painted on over 1,000 strings, 8 layers deep.
Her hair looks like lungs. So it's learning to breathe and to take a breath and to find mindfulness and to center yourself.
Frankly, I feel great for these men and women. I mean, this is recognition outside of their service, but by the same token, for many of them, it's the art that's developed them beyond their service, beyond the whatever problems they'd encountered from their service. Art pulled them through, and I'm just glad we were able to get this done for them.
It means so much to me how much I've gained in the past year. For some veterans, it was the difference between life and death. There's veterans here that literally, when they got into the art museum and they got going into the gallery of the VFW, it changed their perspective. It gave them an outlet. You got other veteran artists looking around at each other going, oh, I've been there with you. I know what you're going through. I can feel your feelings.
People think of veterans, they think of military service, duty, perhaps combat or not. And sometimes it doesn't go beyond the fact that they're a veteran. But veterans are people. And they do more than, they're more than just their military service. And in this case, they're artists as well. So, yeah, it's, can art heal? Yep. I learned that personally.
The exhibit continues at the Denver Art Museum through the month of February.
For more information on the exhibit, you can go to denverartmuseum.org.
And for more information on the Veterans Art Council, you can go to veteransartcouncil.org.
As we usher in 2026, we're reminded that 150 years ago, in 1876, President Ulysses S. Grant admitted Colorado to the Union as the 38th state. Our statehood came on the 100th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, hence the nickname, the Centennial State.
Before we get too far into this monumental year, the team at Colorado Inside Out wants to share some projections for Colorado in 2026. So let's check in with Kyle Dyer.
Hi there. I hope you're having a fabulous start to this new year. Before we get too far into 2026 and this month, our insiders on Colorado Inside Out are having some projections about what awaits us in the months ahead. Here's a listen. Now, looking forward. What are the stories? Who are the people? What are the issues that you all project we're going to be talking about a lot in 2026? Of course, we've got the midterm elections that will be big in November and the primaries first in June. But what else are you expecting? Christy, I'll start with you.
Well, I actually picked something that fits along those lines
Okay.
because it is an election year. And I just think the 8th CD race with Gabe Evans, obviously as the Republican incumbent, we're going to hear so much about that race. Millions of dollars pumped into Colorado on both sides. But I think in addition to it just being one of the tightest congressional races in the nation, it's going to highlight some of the division in the Democrat Party in Colorado between, I think the two frontrunners on their side are going to be Shannon Byrd and Manny Rutinel. And they highlight just completely different aspects of the party in charge in Colorado, which often happens when you nearly have a supermajority. You get battles inside your own party. And I think they really do have to figure out their vision going forward. Are they going to side with someone like Manny Rutinel, who is a member of the Democrat Socialist Party, like very, very, very left-wing, kind of like Zoran Mamdani from New York City, a lot of similarities there, or someone like Shannon Byrd, your more typical moderate, economically kind of conservative Democrat. I think it's going to be a big story on what the Democrats pick, and then of course who wins that seat. I think Gabe Evans hangs on to it, but we'll see and discuss it all year.
So if we did a word for 2026, I would say primary, because the primaries will be deciding so much, and so often people don't vote in the primaries, but you need to in June. We will remind you. Okay, what do you think, Patty? What is the big story, or what are the multiple stories that we have for the year ahead?
Well, playing off a few things that have been brought up here, obviously the projects in Denver, watching how they're going, where's the money going, who's getting the money is going to be an incredible story to follow. The primaries and then the election in November is going to be amazing. But I'll go a little more big picture, which is it's the 150th anniversary of Colorado this year. Also the 250th anniversary of the country, and we have a lot of things to deal with there. But Colorado has really strategized how to celebrate this and what to do across the state, kind of to celebrate the state itself, set it apart from what's going on federally. And that's going to be a fascinating thing, especially because as you go into the elections, Polis is term limited. It's his last year. So how is a person the Washington Post recently called the weirdest Democrat in America, how is he going to leave a legacy in Colorado his last year? And I think he's got an opportunity to really push some things, see what he can do to bring people together and make Colorado, even if it's isolated, be a place to celebrate.
I'm curious, since you're tapped into that, like we've heard a lot about what's going to be happening on the National Mall, but is there going to be a big party here in Denver? Is it going to be spread across the state, or are there a mix of both?
There's a mix. So there's a website right now where you can go, and every community is encouraged to put their celebrations up. So there's going to be a lot through the rest of the year. They're doing I think they're doing 150 oral histories of people in Colorado that you'll be able to access. So it is really a statewide celebration that is not supposed to be focused just on Denver.
And there won't be a bridge to.
There will be no bridge.
To celebrate.
Well, that we know of.
That
you
we
never know.
of.
Maybe we're going to have a bridge to D.C. and Trump will just slide right in.
Okay, go. What's the big story in 2026 that you believe?
Well, Patty referenced Governor Polis's opportunity in his final year to bring people together. I'd say he did that over the last year with reference to the bridge. He brought everyone together saying, this is a particularly lousy idea. You nailed it, Kyle, with your use of the word primary. I think the story of this election is not going to be next November. The story of 2026 is going to be in June. Frankly, in both parties. The party that matters around here is the Democratic Party. I think it is a very tough time to be branded or perceived as a status quo Democrat. I think Michael Bennet is in for the toughest race of his life, and he may be on the short end of that stick. I'm not yet ready to predict a Julie Gonzalez victory, but I do think she will make John Hickenlooper's life very difficult and frankly quite miserable. I think it is a tough time to sort of be a card-carrying, old-time, old-line Democrat around here. And quickly on the Republican side, while we're not going to have a Republican governor in this state, I think it's going to be a fascinating primary, particularly to watch Barb Kirkmeyer, who I think is acknowledged as probably the most qualified candidate and also the most reasonable and moderate candidate, and whether that party can come back to its senses and whether she can walk the gauntlet that is that nominating process.
And Elena?
I echo what everyone has said. I think Christie nailed it with CD8. That's going to be one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting, because it's so competitive. The governor's race is going to be huge. Senator Gonzalez taking on Hickenlooper is going to be fascinating to watch again because of that progressive sort of upswelling that we're seeing because people seem to be very tired with establishment Democrats. But something I'm interested in is how AI is going to impact business. Governance. We've already seen Denver, really touting their use of AI, and even politics, how it might shape some of the campaigning we see in the run-up to the primary. So that's a conversation that I think we'll continue to hear a lot about in 2026.
Absolutely. That was just one of the topics we talked about on the latest episode of Colorado Inside Out. You can catch the entire show anytime on YouTube, on the PBS Passport app, or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And make sure to catch our new episode that will take place this Friday night at 8 o'clock here on PBS 12. We'll be looking at the legislature, which is getting ready to convene.
Tonight, we're taking you somewhere you may want to add to your list of unique experiences to check out in Colorado. It's a place where food, community, and culture blend together beautifully.
We are talking about the new Trybal African Speakeasy in downtown Denver. We sat down with the owners to hear their story, sample some delicious cuisine, and explore the authentic African art that fills the space.
So we are Trybal, and this is a homage to Africa.
Hi, welcome to Trybal.
I'm from Douala in Cameroon, and Douala is basically the economical capital of Cameroon.
I'm from Cameroon, so I'm from Yaoundé, which is the political capital.
I used to do a lot of Afrobeats events, big African parties in Denver and other cities as well. I started feeling a little homesick, like I was away from my family and I wasn't really seeing any kind of cultural establishment that made me feel like I was reconnecting with home. So then I started doing the parties, and then from the parties I was like, hey, there's actually a lot of people seeking culture here. My crowd was kind of outgrowing the party and the nightclub scene a little bit. They still wanted a way to enjoy African culture, and that's how I came up with the idea of opening a speakeasy. It's much more than a speakeasy and a restaurant. There's a whole lot of culture that is tied to how we grew up, what we saw growing up. Africa is so misrepresented away from Africa. It takes sometimes people to go to Africa to be like, wow, nothing I've known about Africa my whole life is even the case. We wanted to build a space where we actually control the narrative and what people are seeing about African culture.
Let's start on the door, right?
You guys have a QR code?
When he came up with the idea of the learning pass, that you got to learn something, I was like, yeah, we have to do this because, you might have never known anything about Africa, but that 1 second you take to answer a question of hey, what's the capital of this, or where is this located? And then, you kind of the next thing is maybe I should look this up.
On our website, there's a button. When you click on that, it takes you to a standalone page, which is basically giving you a lesson about a random fact about Africa. It changes all the time. So you can actually read that simple fact in less than a minute and answer one quiz question, which would generate a QR code for you. And that's the QR code that we scan for you to come in, basically unlocking entry for you into the speakeasy. We're not trying to check people's knowledge. We're trying to help them learn something.
Well, I did it.
Initially when we started this being a speakeasy, we didn't intend to be a fully established restaurant. We wanted to have African food bites. If you think about in the Spanish culture, tapas, right? We wanted to just kind of be that, but we also felt like there might be some people here that might be a little hungry, so we introduced the motherland plate that you saw, which is kind of the plate that is shaped as the African continent. That's been the most sold plate since we opened. And it's doing numbers, and everybody's hungry. I thought it was gonna be a portion of people hungry, but everybody comes in here and they want everything.
A variation of plates. We have our beef suya, we have our chicken suya. Then we have our motherland plate, which is a combination of everything that we do. So you have jollof rice, plantains or roasted potatoes, veggies, chicken or beef or shrimp. And then we also obviously have our suya powder, African tradition, and the reme sauce that we make house-made as well.
Oh my gosh, that sauce. It's amazing.
When we started this, the goal was we want to represent all the countries. We want to make sure everyone feel represented. But, it's easier said than done sometimes. You have to start somewhere.
The amazing part of this concept is not just that we're offering food to others, but it's also the discovery and the learning experience that we are having about other countries in Africa as well, so we could properly bring it to the people.
I'm making for you today Trybal's Espresso Martini. Here we like to specialize in using things particular to Africa. That's no different than with this martini here. And then we top it off with a little secret spice. And that is all there is to it. Go ahead and get you a sip of that.
The art, I really take it to heart because, I remember being a kid in the streets of Douala, Cameroon, going to the market with my mom. At the entrance of the market, you see a lot of people on the street that are very artistic because they're not getting a lot of spaces inside because it's too expensive. So they're just on the street with a lot of the artwork, the paintings, and a lot of pieces, right? So when we built this space, I wanted to create a shelf space for them where they basically get visibility into, and people seeing the work that they have been doing. Now we're able to buy art from them at a premium and switch it every couple of months and sell it back here. So these guys now are very encouraged in Africa to continue to exercise on the talent because they know they have a space overseas that is really showcasing their work, even if locally they're not getting a lot of recognition.
We do have artists that are in Denver, that are in Colorado, Fort Collins, wherever, that are Africans, that are that can represent Africa in some way. For example, the mural on the wall, it's a Denver-based artist that drew it. We want people to be able to soak in all of those different things because, as she said, all of those little pieces, they have a message. You ask us anything, there's a story behind it. Like anything that was installed in here or that was built in here, how the story and there's a reason why it's here. She said the lights, because most flags, they have just 3 stripes. These lights are divided into 3 columns. They represent countries.
The whole thing is very, very intentional. Even the lights, it was important that it was those lights are handmade. The lady makes it one at a time, which kind of gives homage to the artisans in Africa that do a lot with very little. We want to really put everything to build a unique spot because this has never been done before. African culture is a very inviting culture. If you guys ever get the chance to go to Africa, and I hope you do, people are going to want to feed you. They want you to eat, they want you to drink, they want you to dance, they want you to have fun. We just want people to feel like this is a home away from home. On behalf of African culture, the part that I take to heart the most is I want people to understand that this was built by Africans but brought to everyone and anyone. So I want when people they leave here, they want to feel like, wow, I truly had a unique experience. I want to tell everybody about it. This is an African-owned establishment that is run by Africans but is being brought to everyone and anyone. It was important that people come in here, they are able to respect the culture but also enjoy it.
Our PBS 12 crew didn't bring a single morsel of food back, but they said they truly felt like they were inside a place immersed in heart and culture, and they can't wait to go back.
And we can't wait to go now. To learn more about their menu and upcoming events, head to the website, TrybalSpeakeasy.com, and you can make some plans to get a taste of something different.
Tonight, we're highlighting a broadcasting pioneer and legend who was honored recently by the Colorado Broadcasters Association. His vision and devotion helped shape local broadcasting all across the Western Slope.
Rex Howell was the first president of the CBA and the founder of KREX Television in Grand Junction, bringing radio and television into communities that had never experienced it before.
At a time when there was no roadmap for broadcasting west of the Rockies, Howell built stations by hand, hauled equipment over mountain passes, and created signals that connected families across vast and rugged terrain.
Rex Howell passed away in 1976. Yet his vision of community and connection continues to influence local broadcasting today. Here's a look at his induction into the CBA Hall of Fame.
Our next legacy inductee is Rex Howell, and I'd like to introduce Bill Dahlman to accept the award on his behalf.
Rex Howell got his broadcast engineer's license when he was 14 years old. He used it to build a portable experimental radio station, and while he was still in high school, he got a job at one of Denver's first commercial radio stations, KFEL. Then in 1926, he started his own commercial radio station, KXFJ, in the Denver suburb of Edgewater. In 1931, Rex Howell moved KFXJ Radio from Edgewater to Grand Junction. It was Grand Junction's first radio station. It was operated as a one-man station, and Rex Howell was that one man. Howell traveled around Mesa County, reporting on everything from water rights fights and railroad wars to peach harvests and Western Slope visits from Presidents Dwight Eisenhower and Richard Nixon. The FCC World War II freeze on new television licenses was lifted in 1952, and Rex Howell put KXFJ TV on the air in 1954. He later added an FM station and changed the call letters to KREX, KREX, AM, FM, and TV. When he retired in 1966, he was president of the XYZ television group, which included KREY in Montrose and KREZ in Durango. KREX was the only TV station on the Western Slope for 25 years. On January 20th, 2008, a fire engulfed the station, and KREX lost 5 decades of irreplaceable historic photographs, films, files, and tapes. Rex Howell recognized that it would be important for Colorado broadcasters to work together on a state level to promote and protect the interests of broadcasters and to work collaboratively to support important statewide community organizations and initiatives. He became the first president of the Colorado Broadcasters Association. So tonight, we are proud to honor our history with the induction of Rex Howell into the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
I am Bill Dahlman, as Tony said, President and General Manager of KREX Television in Grand Junction. That's that city that's on I-70 when you're going to Moab that you pass, and we hope that you stop by and say hello at some point. I am truly honored to be here today to accept this award on behalf of Rex Howell, who passed away in 1976. Justin and the rest, start with a little quiz here. Does anyone know who the first president of the Colorado Broadcasters Association was? Rex Howell. Just a fascinating man to have researched and to follow in his footsteps. I wish there was more video from KREX, but our station burned down in January of 2008, along with all the archive material and all of the pictures. So it's tragic that we don't have that to share tonight, but Rex's legacy certainly lives on. In local broadcasting, we always talk about connecting a community. Well, Rex really did connect the community. In 1931, he brought radio to the Western Slope. In 1954, he brought television to the Western Slope. Your community connection is our current branding, and that was part of what the folks at our station believed that the station exhibits each and every day, and that is what Rex envisioned 70 years ago. Back in 1954, there weren't a lot of even roads in the Western Slope, much less telecommunication lines. It was a time where there was no playbook for building a TV station in the west of the Rockies, but that did not stop Mr. Howell. In fact, Rex built KREX from the ground up, much of which was done with his hands. He had crews build haul equipment over mountain passes. They set up towers in the high country, and they created a signal that reached families from Grand Junction to Montrose, from Durango to Moab. And imagine what those folks thought when they first saw television, news, sports, entertainment for the very first time. And that's all because of Rex Howell and Rex putting the station on the air, connecting that community, and giving them that shared experience and a sense of belonging to something bigger. Over the years, Rex grew his vision to radio, creating one of the first regional broadcast networks in Colorado. And what always stood out to me in my research about him is his belief that, local matters, community connections matter. Rex Howell believed it and he lived it. And 70 years later, that spirit still drives KREX. Every newscast, every event, every time we tell a story, we're standing on the foundation that Rex Howell built. So tonight, we celebrate Rex Howell's induction into the CBA Hall of Fame. We honor not only a broadcaster, but a builder, a man who brought television to the Western Slope, who believed in the power of connection, and whose legacy still lives in every signal we send across the market. Thank you very much.
Rex believed that local stories matter and that broadcasting should connect communities. He laid the foundation for stations across the Western Slope and helped give rural communities a shared experience.
We will be honoring more CBA inductees here on Studio 12, so please stay tuned for those in the weeks ahead. What a great way to start 2026. So many great stories and people.
Be sure to catch us here again on Studio 12 next Tuesday night at 8. And don't forget, you can also follow us on social media and on YouTube.
I'm Ryan Harrer.
And I'm Bazi Kanani. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.